Now we're going to talk about the most, I wouldn't say important, but the most famous description of Dajjal, which is the eye of Dajjal. So before we start, I did mention one of the descriptions or one of the reasons why he's named Masih. We said that his eye is wiped out. Some people say that means he will not have an eye at all. But that does not mean he's going to be like a one-eyed monster. I think it's called a cyclops, is it? Yeah, and the Greek monsters that used to have, and the monsters in that one eye just in the middle of the forehead. That's not how it's going to be. If everybody has that sort of understanding, okay, one eye, he's just going to have one eye there. Even if those who say he will be one eye, it means one eye here, just this area flat. Even for those who say that, it's not going to be that one eye in the middle. So now we'll explore a little bit more about his eye. So in the narration of Bukhari, it's mentioned that أعور عينه اليمنى كأن عينه إنبة طافية, that he will be blind in the right eye, he will have a defect in the right eye. It is as if his eye is like a bulging out, protruding grape. So you'll see some, if you get a bunch of grape and there are certain grapes, they're just sticking out, bulging out. So it'll be like that, bulging out grape that will be slightly sticking out. That is the narration of Bukhari. In Muslim Sharif, عينه طافئة. Okay, the word tafi'ah, the previous word we used was tafiyah with a ya, this is tafi'ah. Slight difference in word. And tafa'atil ayn meaning usually means that the eyesight will not be present. He will not have eyesight. So it says that his eye will not have eyesight. Here it does not mention which eye. The reason I'm mentioning this to you, you'll find out in a minute. The next narration, which we've already mentioned today in Abu Dawud Sharif, that the eye, it will not have eyesight, nor will it be protruding, but nor will it be deep socketed. It will not be sat in the socket. Number 3 or number 4, in Muslim Sharif is mentioned Ad-Dajjalu a'waru aynil yusra, that Dajjal will have a defect in left eye. So what was the first narration we mentioned? Which eye will he have a defect in? Right eye. And here in Muslim Sharif it mentions which eye? Left eye. وَإِنَّ الدَّجَّالَ مَمْسُوحُ الْعَيْنِ عَلَيْهَا ظَفَرَةٌ غَلِيظَةٌ. So now it's mentioned, Muslim Sharif as well, that he will have a defective eye, the eyesight will not be present, and عَلَيْهَا ظَفَرَةٌ غَلِيظَةٌ, upon it will be a thick skin that will be covering the eye. So these are the few narrations. Actually, I think there's one more as well. عَيْنُهُ خَضْرَاء كَالزُّجَاجَةِ. This is mentioned in Ibn Hibban, that his eye will be green like glass. So you see some people who are blind, generally they wear sunglasses because of their eye color not present. It's like glass, or is gray, I would say more. So the Prophet ﷺ is saying that his eye will be green like glass. Now we have a few narrations. Some say his right eye is going to be defective, and the other narrations, we had one narration which said his left eye will be defective, and the others, they just say his eye will have a problem. They don't specify which eye. So now we need to sort of come to a conclusion, is he going to have a defect in both eyes? Is it only one eye, etc. So it is Qazi Iyaz Rahmatullah alayh, he mentions this, and what does he say? It's a long in Arabic. I don't think you guys will understand, but I have summarized it for you. I'll quickly go over it myself. And what it's saying is that basically Imam Nawawi rahmatullah alayh, and who is he? Does anybody know? Imam Nawawi, very famous person. Yes, he's done that as well, but he's famous for another reason. He's a sharih, he's a commentator of a very famous book, very famous hadith book. He's the commentator of Sahih Muslim, very famous. So Imam Nawawi rahmatullahi alayh, he agrees with this. He says this is a very good way of reconciling between the different narrations. But it's actually Qazi Iyaz rahmatullahi alayh, who writes this. He says that the reality will be that the Dajjal's both eyes will be defective. So he's going to have a defect in both eyes. The vision in the right eye will be completely gone. He will not be able to see from the right eye. And remember, we said the first narration of Bukhari was that his right eye will be like a protruding grape. So it will be slightly sticking out. Then the vision in that right eye will be completely gone. As for the left eye, that is also going to have some defect. What will it have is the left eye, we mentioned a few minutes ago, ظَفَرَةٌ غَلِيظَةٌ. It will have thick skin, meaning it will be covering his eye, and maybe you can only see very minimally from it. So his eye will be covered by that thick skin, but he will be able to see from it. But the right eye, he won't be able to see. So that is the way to reconcile between the few different narrations, but the conclusion by Qazi Iyaz and Imam Nawawi, who agrees to it, he says that both eyes will be defective. Imam Bukhari, on the other hand, is given preference to say that the right eye will be the one that will be defective and the left eye will be okay. But the way that Qazi Iyaz has mentioned it, both eyes will be defective. That's a very good way of reconciling between the two. And in a few other narrations, all we need to remember, whether we do not remember which eye is defective or not, the Prophet ﷺ has told us, if you get confused about Dajjal, you think, okay, just for a second you have a slight doubt, is this person my Lord or not? What will strike you as soon as you see him, you will see he has a defective eye. Remember that your Lord is not one-eyed. Your Lord has no defects. Remember that. And in another narration, I'll finish that point in a minute. In another narration, it's mentioned that you know that you are not going to see your Lord on this earth with these two eyes. You might be able to see him in your dream in this world. That's another thing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us all with that dream. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. We may be able to see him in our dream, but in person, we will not be able to see him in this world with our very true eyes. We will see him inshallah in Jannah, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also bless us with that sight too. So Prophet ﷺ said that when Dajjal is going to claim divinity, as soon as you see him and you are confused for even a second, just remember your Lord does not have any defects. And the point before that, that the Prophet ﷺ said that yes, that he will not have any defects. From this we should remember that how can a person who has defects be a Lord? How can it be Allah? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one who has created you and I, he has created all the beautiful creations that exist in this world. He has created the sun, he has created the moon, he has created the stars, he has created the prophets that were extremely beautiful. وَأَحْسَنُ مِنْكَ لَمْ تَرَ قَطُّ عَيْنِي. Regarding the Prophet ﷺ, the Sahaba Kiram say that we have never seen anybody as beautiful as you, nor I have seen anybody as beautiful as you. So that Allah who has created that Prophet ﷺ, how can he have any? That's why there's a poem in Urdu, सोचती होगी दुनिया मुस्तफा को देखकर कि वो मुसव्विर कैसा होगा जिसकी तस्वीर ये है. That people will see the beauty of the Prophet ﷺ and they must think, how beautiful must Allah be whose painting this is. This is the creation of Allah, so how beautiful must the creator be? Subhanallah. So how can you even think that Dajjal is your Lord when he has so many